This is Frank Islam, Chairman and CEO of FI Investment Group, and your host tonight with Frank Islam. Today, our guest is Malik Ali Awan. Malik, welcome to our show. Thank you for coming.
Frank. Thank you.
As I understand, you're a Republican,
Yes.
which is a rare commodity among Pakistani Americans
Yeah, of course.
and a Muslim.
Yeah.
And you're also a member of the National Republican Party,
Yes.
also known as
Committee.
RNC.
Yes.
And so tell me a little bit about yourself, who you are.
Well, Frank, I'm already your fan.
Thank you very much.
And I have watched a lot of interviews.
Okay.
And I've been following you for a quite bit time.
Okay, thank you very
And
much
it's
for doing
great
that.
to be with you. It's
Okay.
an honor to be with you. And I belong to Pakistan originally. And there's a little town known as Khoshab. Originally, I'm from Khoshab. And from my grandmother's side, his father was first commissioned officer in army back the partition of
So this is your
subcontinent.
great-grandfather.
Yeah, great grandfather. Yeah,
Wonderful.
and then my grandmother brother Malik Ali Awan was federal minister for commerce,
Wow.
and he was also provincial minister for irrigation.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
So you were sort of from political family.
Yes, and then back in Pakistan, I joined Pakistan People's Party, and
That's the
due to
Benazir Bhutto's party.
Yeah, Benazir Bhutto's party, and I like immediately they just put me at a Foreign Affairs Committee, and through that, at that time, Benazir Bhutto was struggling in Washington D.C. for restoration of democracy back in Pakistan.
When Pervez Musharraf was there?
Yes, when
Okay.
and that is the reason that I came here in
Oh, you
Washington
came to the
D.C.
United States.
Yeah, and
Did you go to school here?
Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
I have done a lot of customer service certifications from Service Quality Institute back in Minneapolis, and I have also learned about the foreign affairs. I have done a few certifications from George Washington University too.
GW.
Yeah, and I was also a team leader. There was a course by the Republican Party at.
So when did you join the Republican Party? What motivated you to join the Republican Party? And do you like what they believe in it?
Yeah, sure. I strongly believe in the core values of Republican
What
Party.
are the core values of the Republican Party?
The core values are about the national interest and the founding fathers that United States is a unique country all over the world, and I strongly believe that there's no other country like the United States of America in any part of the world. You see a lot of nationalities are living here, they're living with peaceful, everyone has opportunity, education,
And you
healthcare.
want to continue that.
Yes, sure. I'm already continuing.
So you
that.
want to continue the values of your party
Yes,
and the values of America
yes,
and the character and conscience of our nation
yes, sure.
and bring people together.
Of course.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to tell is that the founding fathers of this great nation, like Abraham Lincoln and
Abraham
Thomas.
Lincoln came in a little bit late.
Yes.
He was a Republican, but the founding
Yes.
fathers were Jefferson, Washington,
Yes.
And Franklin and Hamilton.
Yes.
Okay.
And the Thomas Jefferson, he was a very strong Republican, and I personally regard him in all the aspects. And how the founding fathers they made the Constitution, and how they envisioned a nation is actually the main factor that I claim came closer to the Republican. And I also I'm due to my association with Benazir Bhutto and her party, I got a bit interest in the foreign affairs politics, and due to that reason, I came to understand that the Republican Party is the real party which has made the Constitution and which has formed and united this great nation. And I strongly believe, as far as my Pakistani origin is concerned, I'm sure that very soon there will be much larger Pakistani community also joining the Republican Party, and we are trying to convince and we are trying to portray the message of the Republican Party to the Pakistani Americans and to the Middle Eastern Americans too.
To the Muslims.
Yeah.
So, considering what you just said,
Yes.
and which is the pretty good stuff what you just said.
Yeah.
What's your thought on this administration of banning Muslims from the Muslim countries? Pakistan is not part of it.
Yeah, well, if we see the history, there are certain nations among the Muslim countries, like the United States had not shared diplomatic relations with those nations, such as Libya, such as Syria, and like they were either like back in the Soviet time.
But this also includes Yemen.
Yeah, Yemen,
Sudan.
Yes.
I know the Somalia, Sudan, one of those countries, I think.
Yeah. Even in Yemen and in Sudan, like the war is going on. Like the Iranians are backing the Houthis. They're supplying the weapons.
And so Saudi Arabia is doing the same thing.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But Saudi Arabia is not part of the Muslim banning.
Of course, like United States has to be careful.
Well,
United States has to look forward that to which people are they letting into the country, and how they will,
So you support the banning, even if it's wrong and shameful and unconstitutional.
It is a part, but it was I'm not so much big supporter, but at least like I support in a way. Yes, you can, but like we have to keep the United States safer. And we don't want Muslims to be blamed for all the bad things, and we also don't want Islam.
How would that have prevented what happened in not too long ago in New York? The Bangladeshi fellow did that, and he said he was encouraged by Mr. Trump. That's what he said on Facebook.
Yes, of course.
Because that person is dividing the nation rather than bringing it together.
Yeah.
I may have not said it properly the way he said it. But that's the essence of the message.
Yeah, there is a strong perception. Like I don't want to name the media tycoons, but they are also they are doing day and night propaganda against President Trump, and due to their own personal agendas. But as far as the Muslims are concerned, like there's also like if you see CNN, like I was just watching yesterday, and there's a large number of Muslims who are actually supporting this Muslim ban. Okay, and similarly, what I'm trying to that this thing is
they're supporting the Muslim ban. Some of the Muslim countries, not the people you're talking about.
No, the people, the American Muslims living in the United States of America. There are few, like you can watch the CNN website or you can Google it and you can see that there are a lot of American Muslims who have actually supported President Trump in this Muslim ban. And what I'm trying to tell is that this is not about like we as a Muslim, it is also our responsibility. It is one of our
to protect
our religion and to make respect in the other religion people eyes.
So the Islam, you believe in Islamic faith, which teaches equality, dignity, tolerance, and stuff for other faith.
Yes.
So I want to kind of shift the gears, if I may, Malik, and I guess we can talk about the Muslim banning till the cow comes home.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how do you see the relationship between the U.S. and Pakistan?
United States and Pakistan both shared a very long history of mutual relations, especially like as far as the Pentagon and GHQ relations are concerned, like starting from the President Ayoub visited Washington DC, and like GHQ and Pentagon both have shared relations for more than a decade. And Pakistan has been in all those areas when our neighboring countries were either the Soviet bloc or they were communist or like this. But Pakistan,
they were communist. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Like they were very strong supporting.
You see that it's going to go to the next height in terms of the relationship between the United States and Pakistan?
Like what I'm trying to tell is that the relationship between Pentagon and GHQ It might
And
be
GHQ is what?
a general headquarters of the
Okay.
Pakistan Army.
Okay.
Yeah, like the relationship between Pentagon and GHQ could be lower as far as the time is concerned, but it was never stopped. It was never finished, and it could never be finished.
So sound like what
this
you're
is my
saying.
belief.
What you're saying that it is interest of Pakistan and the United States to strengthen a broader and deepen the relationship between the two countries.
Of course.
Not just on the national security issue, but also commerce, trade, investment, and business as
Everything,
well.
everything, everything. Yeah, I'm a very strong vocal. Like right now you have heard about Pakistan. Like we are entering into the CPAC.
Yes,
and
that's
I
right.
have like it is good for the nation, but like we are also trying to do that. We are trying to tell in Pakistan, like a lot of journalists, I have explained them that how United States has helped Pakistan. Like I don't think that China will be able to support Pakistan in such a way how United States has already helped for a decade.
Well, that's a wonderful. So we'll continue talking. So we're going to take a break and come back.
Yeah, sure.
अब आपका होगा अपना घर, सपना घर। Your dreams can come true. SAI mortgage is key for you. अपना घर खरीदने और रीफाइनेंस करवाने के लिए SAI mortgage से राब्ता करें।
Don't make a move without SCI.
So we're back with Malik. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Frank.
So, as you know, the policies of this administration towards Palestine and Israel, especially moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, do you believe it will breed the violence, it will worsen the situation, it also a threat to the two-state solution?
Well, Frank, here in the United States, like I've already told you that we all are very much privileged, that here we have freedom of expression. Like I can tell whatever
That's
I
how
feel.
democracy flourishes.
Yeah, of course. But in a lot of parts, like actually, like the people are like they can kill. Like a person could be killed if they have the different views or something controversial. And you know that President Trump, like as my personal is concerned, like I have written a few letters to President Trump. In one of my letters,
Did he ever get to his desk?
yes.
Okay.
One of is because already I'm in the system that I have worked in his presidency, and I've been admin to a lot of groups at social media, and I was the team leader at Republican Leadership Initiative. And what I try to tell Mr. President is that recently President Trump got a policy that he has reduced the funding of the State Department, and either
Significantly.
yeah,
By
yeah,
1/3.
yeah, of course, and like because this is his policy that what actually like back in elections, the uniformed soldiers, they have supported President Trump in a large way, and his advisor, his top advisors, also have a lot of experience in military and in army
So do you
matters.
support what he has done in terms of moving the embassy?
Yeah, no, actually, what I have written in my letter, what I have explained to him is that, that the State Department has been used by the state of United States for the diplomacy. Like whenever there is a conflict or whenever there is some issue, through State Department, US government actually work and they resolve those issues. If State Department would be reduced or if State Department would be deprived for doing their job, the issues, like there will be no one there to actually resolve the issues in a good manner.
So are you suggesting that they should put back to the budget it used to be under the Obama administration?
Yes,
Is that what you're advocating?
Yeah, I am in support that the things should be balanced. Like as United States is focusing on
Things should be
making
balanced in what way?
like the military and the diplomatic platform
Yeah.
should be equal.
Well,
Like
they
they would be they should be balanced.
The Pentagon has $1 trillion budget, and the State Department does not. So
Yeah, yeah.
that cannot, in terms of the balancing the budget, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, of
But
course.
the reducing the workforce and not even have assistant secretary and the deputy secretary, well, they have deputy secretary and other how can they promote the diplomacy in the world? I mean, that's going to affect who we are as an American.
Yeah, of course. But diplomacy is the main tool.
Yes,
like
it is.
if we see the history of the United States, the presidents.
You're right. Diplomacy is very important before we get into the war. And that's a very.
And similarly, this Jerusalem embassy thing, like there is a lot of, because like all the diplomats working, especially in Middle East and Pakistan, there are a lot of protests going on.
Yeah,
and
so
there
it's
are
breeding violence.
Yes,
and it has become increasingly intolerant among the Muslim countries.
Of course.
Obviously, there must be some reason behind it
Of course.
that was done, and it's hard for me to comprehend what the reasons are. So we're going to get to another subject. What challenges did you face while getting into politics?
Like,
obviously, the majority of the Pakistani Americans are Democrats.
Of course.
And I would say about 87% of them.
Yes. Actually,
You're not a loner, but...
Yeah. At the time, I already explained my association with the Benazir Bhutto team, who was actually working. At that time, they were working with the President Bush. So, with the Bush
1 or Bush 2?
Bush 2. Like at the time, Pervez Musharraf, and when tragically Benazir Bhutto got assassinated. And I came here in Washington, D.C. With her friends, and we were invited to a few think tanks like Brookings and Heritage. And then I also came to know some friends of her working in Republican Party. And as far as my own community is concerned, like there are a lot of things, there are a lot of initiatives to be taken for Pakistani American community there's one very good example. Like in last elections, like when we were working for the Republican Party, like on our counterpart, like American Indians, they were also working. And
what you talking about the Indian diaspora community?
Yes, the Indian diaspora.
They're pretty active.
Yeah, they are very active, and they got the Republican Indian Council too. And actually, what they did is that they were working unitedly with both. They were working at both sides. Like they were working at Republicans, and they were also working.
So that's what you're advocating.
Yes, that's what I also want my community people to come forward.
So it has to be bipartisan support.
Of course, like we want our community. Like for example, there are a lot of things to be done. Like similarly, like our youth, Pakistani American youth, like the parents are enforcing their children. Like, I want to give you one example. One man from my village back, he came to America and he got a degree. He was a chemical engineer. So he was offered a very good job in US Army. But then suddenly his father-in-law, who was an old Pakistani American living in America, and he said, oh, well, you're not supposed to go into the military because it will be very much dangerous and you will be, well, like a lot of negative propaganda.
That's a Stone Age thing.
Yeah. Like what I'm trying to tell is that we as a Pakistani American, we have to come forward. We have to...
So you want to make sure there's a bipartisan support.
Of course,
so you work on both sides of the aisle.
Of course.
Democrats and Republicans.
Yes.
That's what you're advocating Pakistani Americans. Do you get any support from Pakistani American community for doing so?
Well, there are few individual Pakistani individuals like Khurram Shahzad and Aziz Ahmed and Mr. Asim, like these, there are few people in their individual capacity, Senator Khwaja Akbar, Sajjad Baloch, my friends, like my People's Party friends, they were very kind and they assisted me in a way. But as I was expecting something, and due to those flaws in this, I made my own PAC Republican Council. And I designed PAC Republican Council in such a way that I will...
So you have your own PAC? What's the name of the PAC?
No, it is a non-profit organization with the name of PAC Republican Council. And
is it 501c?
Yes.
So how can you make contribution to the 501c, which is politically oriented?
No, it is not. Right now, we are not doing any political work on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm writing a blog. And my blog is on Middle East affairs, on security affairs, and a lot of students from American University Foreign Institute and from George Washington Elliott School of International Service, and a lot of scholars from all over the world are following my blog, which is on Middle East and on Pakistan. We are also covering Pakistan embassy activities too. And I hope and I look forward that after a gradual time, Pakistani American community will be in a better shape.
Okay. Well, that's a good cause. It's a noble cause.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back, Malik, in a minute.
अब आपका होगा अपना घर सपना घर।
Your dreams can come true. SAI Mortgage is key for you.
अपना घर खरीदने और रीफाइनेंस करवाने के लिए SAI Mortgage से राब्ता करें।
Don't make a move without SCI.
So we're back with Malik. Malik, thank you very much for your service as well as for your leadership.
Thank you.
And trying to get a bipartisan support from the Democratic Party as a Republican Party, which is a good thing to do, which is what you decided to do. So, if somebody's Pakistani Americans are watching the show, what's your advice for them if they want to join not just the Republican Party or any political party?
Well, my first request to the youth of Pakistani community, American Pakistani community, is that you should believe in yourself, and you should be proud of your origin, and because we all are representing our nations and our homeland, even in America. And what I try to tell is that my advice to the youth is that in whichever circle you are living in your day-to-day lives, it is very much important to just work hard and bring out good potential result and come forward and become leaders in whichever walk of life you want to lead. And this is already a privilege that we all are given a chance to live and lead our lives in the United States of America.
You said it very well. The Pakistani American communities has to be engaged in order to be part of the landscape of American politics.
Yes.
That's what you have said earlier. And also, there could you get at the end of the day, you get the politicians, the government, and you can change them if you participate in the political process and go vote.
Of
right?
course.
And that's what you suggested.
Yeah, and to bring out the good result within your circles.
And you are an ambassador of the Pakistan here in this country.
Each citizen, like whatever, we are saying, we are talking, our deeds, our personal whatever, like we are representing our nation.
Sure. So, talk to the people also. You gave a good advice. Why they should be engaged politically? What is in it for them?
Because this is the way that politics is, especially in American system, politics is the main thing where you can advocate for your rights, you can make a good impression of yourself, and you can get a lot of your privileges, not only for your own personal self, but to a larger extent of your own community.
Okay, so you should be engaged politically, that's what you're saying, in order to create the common cause, to make sure you have a voice. That's what you're saying, to make sure you have a seat at the table.
Of course.
And every day in your life, what the politicians do, it affects you.
Yeah, of course.
I think that's the point to make very effectively.
Yes.
What other advice do you have for the people? Why should we giving money contribution to the politicians?
Because first thing
And
is...
you have one of those PAC, and do you think they should pay? They should give some money to contribute? And why should they?
Yeah, because, it is good to pay for the good cause, and there are also tax breaks. Like if a person is an
Well, not the
entrepreneur.
campaign contribution is not a tax break. You cannot. do
Yeah,
tax
not a
break.
campaign, but
the 501(c)(3).
yes,
it is.
yeah, it is, yeah.
So that's
and like for example, there's like I pay my membership fees to Heritage Institute.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, and,
Oh,
and it
Heritage,
is
yeah, that's a
Heritage,
think
yeah,
tank,
Heritage,
right.
yeah, that's a think tank, and I got a tax break of it.
Well, but the Heritage Foundation is a is the 501(c).
Yes.
Just like the broking is.
Yes.
Okay. But the campaign contribution is not a tax write-off.
Yes,
Eh.
but at least like that is the reason that how politics of United States actually work. Like here, like we
So in
have
order to be
to be distinguished, and in order to be leaders
to be
in
an
the
active
system.
participant in the
Yeah.
political process.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Malik, for your service and for your passion, for your commitment. And you should continue to do what you're doing and inspiring people and making sure, I hope your cause will endure.
Thank you very much,
And-
Frank.
and thank
It's
you for
already
coming.
an honor to be at
Sure,
you. Thank
you're
you
most
very much.
welcome.
Yeah.
This is Frank Islam, wishing you a great week and thank you for watching.